Hoi hoi folks, good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. And if you're not new, this is going to be a very different video to normal. So I saw recently on YouTube, as I was scrolling through on my subscribe feed, a message from Stan Proko from the YouTube channel Proko, who I'm sure all of you YouTube art fans will probably know anyway. But Stan is a Ukrainian-American artist. He has an amazing channel and he is an amazing artist. He's been a big help for me just in terms of inspiration and motivation through the years and logging onto his channel. So when he had this post, I felt like I wanted to actually help. Basically, he's put together a fundraiser to raise as much money as possible to help people stuck within the Ukrainian crisis and Ukrainians across the world who have been affected by the crisis that's currently going on. This is a cause that's actually dear to my heart as well. My husband and I are currently in the process of having a Ukrainian refugee being housed with us. We've been going through all of the paperwork, setting up a livable place for him, kind of helping him with his mental health as well as he tries to escape the country. He's an LGBT man from the Ukraine as well, which obviously raises its own issues, particularly with Russian forces coming through and LGBT people facing brutal eradication as well. It's something honestly that has kept me awake at night worrying about him and about others, and I just wanted to show that it doesn't matter whether you're a small channel of 5 subscribers or a large channel of 5 million subscribers. There is something that you can do to help, whether it be to go onto the page, and there are links down below. Please look at the description of this video. There are links down below if you'd like to go and donate to the cause. You can donate. There are raffle prizes. There are items that you can buy. There's mentorship. There's all sorts of things on there that have kindly been donated by some really amazing artists. Even people like Aaron Blaze, who I've admired for years and years and years, have donated things on there to look at. So please do go and check it out. And this is my small contribution. So today I'm going to be doing a small piece of art, a watercolour. That is going to be going up hopefully as a raffle prize as well, or to purchase. I'm just chatting with the team at Proko at the moment to decide what's going to happen with that. But regardless, it will be available for someone somewhere in the world. So I'm going to turn the camera around just as normal. We're going to get cracking. I'm doing a small watercolour, so I've got my paper here ready. I'm just going to tape everything down, get myself set up, and then we'll go through and I'll do a voiceover as we are doing that. But please stay tuned because I will have more information at the end of the video. Okay, so here we are. So I've got a nice square piece and I'm finding the center and splitting it diagonally, because the idea that I had for this was really combining two things. So I wanted both a sunflower and a rainbow. So rainbow obviously for LGBT and for LGBT people in Ukraine, but also the sunflower is the national flower of Ukraine. And obviously sunflower oil as well is a major export. So it's a really interesting flower. Obviously it's been done by many painters over the years, and now it's my turn. So on the sunflower side, well, on the rainbow side, actually, I've just separated it into 7 lines. On the sunflower side, I've got 2 circles. The outer circle is kind of where I want the petals to meet. And then the inside circle is where all the seeds are going to be. And I'm really just roughing in a sketch, and this is how I work all the time. Nice and rough and nice and loose, and I usually don't use rulers and compasses and all that kind of stuff. I very much just freehand things, but I wanted to get a nice kind of yin-yang in this and nice and balanced, and that's why I've actually used tools today. But once I've kind of got everything in, I'm just marking a few minor small details. All I'm going to do is knock all of this back with an eraser and then do some masking and then get into the painting. So I noticed something when I was looking at reference pictures of sunflowers, that they have this kind of 5-point spiral in the seeds. So I kind of thought about putting that in, but actually with what I was doing, I don't think really it was going to work. So I tried something slightly different instead. So here we are. You can see I've really knocked back all of the pencil lines just with a kneaded eraser, rolled into a sausage and then rolled over the surface of the paper, and it takes out everything bar a small amount, and obviously me knocking the camera there. This masking fluid I love for so many reasons, least of all that it's incredibly satisfying at the end, and you'll get to see why right at the very end. What I'm doing here is thinking about the highlights on the piece. So some of the seeds, some of the petals, and then on the side of the rainbow I've just done that to have a clear separation so that the paint doesn't bleed over onto the other side. And once that's dry, it's time to actually go in with paint. So I'm not a watercolor painter. I mean, I'm more of an acrylic painter, and I'm hoping to try my hand at oils very soon, although water soluble, because the chemicals for oil paints don't agree with me. But I've really been enjoying watercolors over the last few months, so that's what I wanted to do for this piece. So what I found with watercolors is you just have to work from light to dark and be incredibly patient, and this is my main downfall, is that I just don't have patience and I want to go into the next bit, and then you get parts bleeding into other parts. So this has helped my brain think in a slightly different way of what am I going to do next? How am I going to make sure that I don't have any bits bleeding into any other bits, and ink and paint all leaking everywhere? And it's just about being smart with the way you're approaching the painting. So because this is a painting really of two halves, I'm able to go from side to side and let one side dry whilst I'm doing the other side and go back and forth. So in this one, actually it was really nice to do. And I've kind of got three parts as well, because I've got the rainbow, I've got the petals, and I've got the seeds as well. So they're really separated out rather nicely. So I'm going in already and adding gradients and building colour straight away, because there's no use waiting around. I'm starting off with my lightest colours, but I'm going to build and build and build and build. So whilst the painting's happening, I suppose I should probably talk a little bit about what's happening with Andrew and myself with the refugee scheme in the UK. So the UK has a house refugee scheme, which we signed up for immediately because, well, we have the space, and we felt that we wouldn't be doing our part if we didn't do that. We're hoping to adopt in the future, and whilst that's on hold, we've got the space to be helping people. So we reached out on multiple networks actually. We were open to anyone and anyone that wanted to basically have somewhere safe to live. Open to single people, couples, families, children, whatever. Just happened on one of the networks, which was a rainbow network, to connect with a guy just outside of Odessa, who, as I said, is a gay man, but also for me shares other similarities. So he also has a brain injury. So he had brain surgery when he was only 7 years old, and as a result of that has had epilepsy ever since, which means medically he's not fit to serve, and so is not fit to fight on the front lines, which is something that he's struggled with, obviously, and that's affected his mental health, and that's something we've been talking to him about as well. But it has been a struggle getting his paperwork so that he's able to actually leave the country. Andrew and I ended up writing letters and sending emails to various members of the UK Parliament and government, and various offices and governmental departments to try and get things sorted. We do now actually have his paperwork with him. He's cleared to come to the UK. We are hoping by the time this video goes out, actually on Monday the 16th, hopefully he should be on his way out of the country. That's kind of fingers crossed. And then obviously when he gets here, we've got support packages in place and all that kind of stuff. So it's a big change for us, but it's obviously a massive change for him, and we want to make that as easy as possible. So talking about this fundraiser that Proko is doing, some of the items that are up are amazing. There is a Shape of Water painting, which is just phenomenal. If I had the money, I definitely would get it. There's like a subscription to the creature designer thing that Aaron Blaze has, and all sorts of other things, and it's just mind-boggling, the things that people are willing to do and put forward in the name of charity to help other people. I think we, as a community of artists, we are kind of truly blessed by some of the people that we have in our community and that work with us. This painting I'm really enjoying. It's kind of coming along quite nicely. Again, I'm just building up layers, building up layers, building up layers. These paints, by the way, are Artistro. So I know people always ask what paints I'm using. These are Artistro paints, which I reviewed a few months ago, and actually I've been using quite often because I really like them. You can see the paints are starting to distort from how much I've been using them, but I do really like them. One thing I will say about this video is I said when I got to 666 subscribers, I would do a demonic piece of artwork. Then that was slightly delayed because I was waiting for new paint to be delivered. So that's why the last video went out. And then obviously with this one, this is a whole other level of importance. So this one just had to come out before anything else. So that's why we're getting this one now. The other one will come eventually, and I will do that piece, and I will be doing a giveaway for that as well. And then this will go to someone in the world also, this piece that we're doing right now. I do have, so for this month, I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm actually on holiday all of the week coming up, which I'm very much looking forward to, because it will be my first holiday, actual kind of holiday going away in 2 years. Which, yeah, very exciting for me, but it does mean that I'm kind of putting other stuff on hold. But when I get back from holiday, I'm working on a collaboration with a friend who's currently living in New Zealand, so time zones have been very interesting, trying to get that one sorted out, but also very excited for that. So stay tuned for that. So I wanted backgrounds on this to separate things out. So you see I've got blue behind the sunflower, and I was really inspired by the Ukrainian flag. So obviously yellow on the other side, and just doing this kind of dispersal technique where you put the water down and then drip paint on and just let it bleed out. So now I have to wait for that to dry. It took a little while to dry, but now's the satisfying part. It's taking off all of that masking fluid, and I really love this. It has the same feeling of, did you ever paint PVA glue on your hands when you were at school and then peel it off afterwards? It's that same thing. So this is the painting done. I just need to unmask it from the board, and we are completed. And this was really reflective and interesting to do this piece, and obviously represent Ukrainian people and LGBT people in Ukraine as well. And we've finished. We are complete. I say this all the time, but I did really enjoy doing this. And whilst I was doing this, I was thinking a lot about the reason that I'm doing this today. So I did say, try and make it all the way to the end. And I feel like I'm going to kind of be on my soapbox just for a moment, because on this channel, I always advocate looking for help with physical and mental health. I have my own disabilities, both visible and hidden with my brain injury and kind of the ramifications of that. And I will always advocate people to seek help, particularly when it comes to mental health. I think as human beings, we want to help each other, and that's really highlighted when something like this happens. There will always be causes that we can help with, whether that's something global like this or something very grassroots and local to you. I have already made my donation to Proko, and then this is my kind of additional piece towards that, so I'm extending that just because I have the ability to be able to do that. Don't feel like you have to go out and donate money that you don't have. There are other ways that you can help. You can simply share a social media post. Proko has a lovely banner as well that you can share on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram that is actively promoting this. Even that is a massive way to help. So I feel like I'm, as I said, on my soapbox, and I don't want to be, because this channel is all about having fun with art, and this is just a small kind of side thing that I've done for today. We'll return with normal content in no time. As always, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, goodbye.